Word up.
Yo, Longhairs, welcome to episode number 111 of Let It Ride. Here, we talk long hair and business, advocate for hair equality, and celebrate men's long manes with hair whips and high fives. If you're a guy with long hair, you're in the right place. I'm El Moreno, and I'm here at the Longhairs HQ. As always, I got my boy El Garvinsky with me. And today we're hosting our first ever Zoom / Google Meet podcast, digital podcast here in the new warehouse. Our guest on today's show is a first-time guest. So we are thrilled to have that. We wish he was here in person in the HQ, but maybe we will work that out for the second time we have him on the pod. But today we are welcoming the Massachusetts metalhead, the long-haired lyricist, the singing and screaming vocalist. He's a multi-talented musician with a mane that slays the game. He is the guitarist for metalcore band The Worst of Us, but he certainly has the best hair. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you Wesley Horton! The third! Had to go in the third, dude. All right, before we start talking, though, we gotta hear some of his amazing vocal talent. Play the track.
We got you. Let's pop this in here.
But you still have no talent. You think you're savage, you haven't finished. Thinking you're gonna bend this, but you can't have it, so stand. You'll sweat my shaking hands. Dig your nails through the dirt of the grave I lay in. Cut back and crawl to the edge of the last glass cup, and then I'm escaping. What's into you? What's into you? Nothing to prove, nothing to lose, but my mind is blistering. If you think this is it, you've got another thing coming.
Dude, great to have you on the show, man. We've been
Thanks for having me.
we've been connected via the interwebs for quite some time. You do a lot of cool stuff online. We watch your videos of everything that you do with your voice, which is amazing, and we'll get into that in a second. But what brought us together was the hair, man, and your flow is looking great. Let's just get a quick hair update. Where are you at here?
I cut it a couple times, but I would say it's like middle chest right now, like not crazy, but I cut like 9 inches off.
Dang.
I was like all the way down to my waist.
Wow.
I cut 6 more too, because it was getting so crazy, because I was like playing shows and it would get so tangled after, and I was just I felt like I was losing so much hair from it just being like so heavy and getting so tangled.
Yeah.
I was, like headbanging on stage and stuff. So, but since I cut it, like this seems to be like where it wants to be.
Okay.
But we'll see. I might just like let it go. But it's cool to finally actually talk to you guys, because I will say, before anyone thought I was cool, long hair is definitely like, you guys hooked me up when I was like really small.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that. So
dude, it's phenomenal.
Thank you for that, and for to anyone else involved with that stuff when we were first talking. It was cool just because it was like I never got stuff like that when I was that size, so it was like, oh sweet, it was just cool, and I appreciate it. It's nice to like finally get to tell you that. So
yeah, man. Well,
thank you.
Dude, that's awesome, man. We really appreciate that. And it was a no doubter for us. You just shredded. We saw that you had like really incredible talent. It was we were all mesmerized by your videos. And just super badass. So yeah, hell yeah, we were always just been down.
Yeah.
Dude, to the waist. That is some serious freaking hair right there.
Crazy. It was crazy, dude. It was just like way too much. I was just like, I was sitting on it. I was like, he was getting caught in doorknob. Like, oh my God, the worst thing was the doorknobs. I would get like yanked by a door all the time. It's so bad.
Oh, because you're walking and the door would close behind you.
Like it's at your like wrist level, so it's like it's like around that area where you're just like getting yanked by something all the time, or like someone's sitting on it, or the armchair catches it, or it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Dude, that's gnarly, man. I mean, and you're pretty, I guess, aggressive with the hair. I mean, as far as, you're headbanging like crazy. You're moving it all over the place. Right. It seems like you're figuring out what the fine line is, the good length for you.
Because there is like a point where it's like like I have the back shaved too, like up to like the middle.
Oh, no way.
The back of my head, just because it's so heavy.
Yeah.
I've actually pinched a nerve multiple times, like right on my trap, from the weight of just throwing it around.
Yeah.
And it's not like necessarily good for you.
Right.
But, if I can lower the weight a little bit, that's why I have the undercut or whatever.
Yeah. Smart.
Lowering the weight makes it like a little bit, and it's so thick that if you have the thick ass hair, like no one's gonna notice if you have like
the underneath
half
shaved.
of that missing. No one can see it.
Dude, interesting. We throw it around out here. Anytime I've headbanged, I always feel a little sick after, a little slightly concussed. I don't understand how do you do it? You're on stage, you're singing, you're playing, you're going. Like, is this just like a muscle you've built? Like, or how do you manage?
It's some of that, but it's kind of like there's a way to that you can lock in with your anatomy that's like less they call it like you want to avoid the snap is what people say. You don't want to like have it like snap on your like vertebrae, and you want to try to like minimize, like if you can go like this as much as possible, like with your hips and your knees rather than like your neck and your like sensitive,
so like lower body and waist, like lower body waist.
But you can make it look cool, especially if you have hair, because you can just like do one thing and it looks way cooler because your hair's flying all over the place. But it's like avoiding the snapping and conserving energy, and by doing like just distributing the pain across the whole body instead of just like your what do they call it, upper 22 or something.
Right. Yeah. Those top vertebrae, critical neck bones.
Correct. Yeah.
Dude, so I mean, long hair has always been a key part in rock and roll, metal, just slaying on stage. Like, what is that? Why you grew your hair out originally? Like, let's also like just take a step back. Like, how did your music career kind of evolve and the hair with it?
I don't know. I always had like when I was young, I always did like dramatic hair things. Like it was either I would go super long, or I'd like be like, you know what? And tomorrow I'm gonna shave a mohawk in. And then the next day I'm going to shave it completely bald, and my mom's going to be so mad at me.
Yeah.
All this, like I was always like about extreme, like doing something extreme with that. And then, I kind of just, I got into music that was like kind of like rock and metal music. And that just happened to be the aesthetic. And then I tried growing my hair out, and people really liked it, and I got compliments kind of. So I kept rolling with it. My mom never liked it. My mom still doesn't like it, but some people seem to like it for some reason. But and it goes. I mean, if you play, like I've shaved my head before and played a metal show, and it's just not the same, dude.
Oh, feeling naked up there.
It's just not the same when you don't have like something to move around.
Yeah. I could see that definitely.
Yeah.
So did you start with playing an instrument and then moved into vocals, or what's kind of your history of being your musical journey?
Well, when I was a kid, the wind, sorry. When I was a kid, I was always like singing songs and stuff like in the car. My mom would always say that I would just like start getting up and singing songs on the radio. I'm sure like every kid that ever ends up playing music's mom will say the same thing too. I bet you they have some story like that. But honestly, you know what the real thing is people my age. I'm 24, but people my age that play music right now, I guarantee you they're all playing music. I bet you like 90% of them will agree that Guitar Hero and Rock Band, those games are the reason they're playing music.
No way.
And it was that was the thing that made me be like, I really want to do this in real life.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like I could play guitar. This is a video game and it's fake, but I feel like I could do this in real life.
Yeah.
So I always like kind of sang, and I sang in chorus in like middle school and stuff because you had to. It was either that or band class or something like that, or some terrible decision, you know, as there always is in high school or middle school. But I had to do that, and I excelled. And I got like, I would always get chosen for solos, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like, am I good at this or something? And I was always good at it, but I was embarrassed by it too, because it wasn't like cool.
Sure.
It was like nerdy stuff, you know? Like,
yeah.
No girl's gonna go on a date with a guy that had the solo in the choir class. Like, you know, it was like not that kind of thing. But I would say that I started playing guitar at probably age like 14, and that's when I really got interested in music and thought I could do it through that. And I got into rock and metal, and I was interested in heavier music. And probably around 17 or 18, I started trying to do the vocals. Yeah. And just seeing if I could do it, and just working at it for a while, and eventually I figured out that I could do it, and that's kind of it. Yeah, I picked up other instruments along the way through recording and trying to write music on my own, just so I wouldn't have to hire a bunch of people and just be able to do everything on your own, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like a 9 Inch Nails or Foo Fighters situation, if you know them.
Yeah.
They're all kind of one-man bands.
Right. They all play multiple instruments, do a sing, whatever. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Nice. Yeah, I watched your video the other day. Maybe it was probably from a few years ago, but where you were talking, it was kind of like an educational video about how to use your diaphragm to like do certain sounds and stuff. That was awesome, man. So, like, have you ever had any injuries that you've done because you go so hard on your vocals, or
I don't know for sure, but I don't know if it's related or not. It could be, but when I was like 19 years old, I had hernia surgery because I had hernias like in my lower abdomen.
Oh wow.
Which is like kind of like, if you think about it, it's like it could make sense that could be related.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of pushing.
Yeah.
And and everything that's like hernias just come from excessive pushing, like lifting, like if you're even at work or something, like deadlifting something off of the ground, it's like, and doing that wrong or something can cause that pressure and cause hernias. So there's like, I still have this like sneaking suspicion it could have been because of that. And sometimes if I like have a really hard set, I'll be like, oof, it like hurts a little bit. Yeah. I'm like, did I do this to myself?
Man.
But I mean, who knows? It's a very common medical occurrence. So it's not like it could be 100 things that caused it. But I haven't had any instances of really severely losing my voice or I've heard of guys like spitting up blood and throwing up and stuff, but I've never had anything like that happen. But I've always been like kind of careful. I feel like some people get lost in the emotion and like the intensity of being at a show, and they kind of like forget about technique,
lose some of the fundamentals. And well,
it happens to me, but I'm like, ooh, dial it back. Like think about it, because you'll hurt yourself pretty bad if you like are being stupid, you know.
I bet, man. Dang.
If you can't hear yourself too, like one very important thing is like that you're able to hear yourself.
Yeah.
It's not good when you're just like yelling into a mic and you don't know like what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because you don't. It sounds crazy when you're at a show because it's so loud, but the speakers are facing out, so you're behind them. You can't hear like anything. You're just hearing what's bouncing off of the wall.
Right.
So it's like you're not really hearing yourself as good as you should be. So you need, and some cheap or like some like lower quality venues won't have the speaker facing you.
Okay.
So you won't be able to hear yourself. So you kind of get like, if you're doing like that intense vocals, you're in trouble, man. If you don't have, personal in-ear monitors, which are, that's $2,000.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. It's like on the beginning stages of that stuff. Like I definitely, when I was young, 18, 19, I would finish shows and it would feel like I just did like the worst ab exercise of my life.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
I was doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because you're little and you don't know, and you're like, just as hard as you can. And like, it's bad, man.
So, dude,
but I haven't hurt myself too bad. But sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's great. It's good to know, man. It's all that technique, the training, right? It's all about the practice.
Yeah, it really is. That's all it is.
Now, do you practice like every day? Are you singing every day, working on stuff, or how's that work?
It like depends, because I have times where for 2 weeks I will every day, and then I will every other day, and then there's some times where I'll stop for a week or so because I get really frustrated because it's anatomy. It's
right.
It's not like a flute or like a mechanical instrument. It's like a biological thing,
right,
that's sensitive to so many things. Like, what did you eat this morning? Did you have something hot? Did you have something too cold? Like, how cold was it?
Yeah.
And how humid is it outside right now? Are you hydrated? Like, are you really hydrated or like kind of hydrated? It's like a ton of different things can go into it. And I was just recording with a producer, and we're going and doing the same line over and over again. And I know exactly what I want it to sound like, and I know what it should sound like. And everything here is shaped exactly how it's supposed to sound like. Like, I know it should come out a certain way, and it doesn't, because it's just biology. Like, something got in the way, or I don't know, maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night.
Yeah.
There's like so many things like that mess with it, and that's why that I think that's discouraged, gets me like really frustrated and makes me like want to like I'm not doing this for a couple days. Yeah. But usually like when I'm going to the gym and like I take pre-workout and I'm all hyped up, I'm like, okay, like I have to, like I might as well get the practice in right now. Yeah, that's probably where I get the best practice in, is on the way to the gym. Okay. Because I'm so like excited to just like, you're all hyped up and stuff.
Dude, I've noticed you have been getting it at the gym, dude. Looking pretty swole. I'm trying. Yeah, man, it's great. But keep up the good work, dude. It's paying off.
Thank you.
What is that? Is that been to further, be in better physical shape, be able to handle what you're doing more, the toll on your body?
Yeah, it is some of that, because it's very like physically exhausting. Not only are you using your body as your instrument or whatever, and you're moving around, but you're running around. It's like cardio. It's like exhausting, man. You're like, at the end of every song. It's really tough. So it's partially that, but it's also just to look better and feel better too, because it's so good for your brain to exercise, and it's made me feel like a lot better. Just like general anxiety and general like feeling just like down is gone since I've like really been at it.
You can work right
But-
through all that stuff, dude, at the gym.
Right.
Big
It's
time.
just the place to shut it off and like
yeah.
focus on like literally nothing but yourself for like an hour or two or whatever you're in the gym for, and be like, okay, like I'm doing this and this is to improve myself and feel better, look better,
Absolutely.
try really hard. So
Yeah.
yeah, but it's been great, dude. It's like I think everyone needs to get into it, or at least try.
For sure.
Like try super hard because it's worth it.
Absolutely, man. Definitely. And if fitness is a lifelong journey, you're gonna go through ups and downs. You're gonna go through times where you're just after it, and then maybe cool off a little bit. But I think
Yeah.
it is important to go hard for a certain amount of time, just so you understand what you're capable of and how you could transform your body and how
Right.
it makes you feel. And a big one is just the confidence that it gives you. And not like arrogant confidence or anything like,
Yeah.
I'm a big buff, I'm so strong, I'm this. It's just more of just your everyday life. You're making better decisions. You're thinking
Yeah.
clear. You're able to pursue what you want to pursue with a more laser focus. So, dude, way to
Like
go.
I believe what I say, confidence, more like I believe in what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
It's
what
a
I'm
real
saying is- yeah.
thing.
Exactly. Definitely,
Right,
man.
right.
Definitely. Hey, and it's got to take some confidence to get up on the stage in front of thousands of people and lay it
Yeah.
down, dude.
Screaming your lungs
So let's
off.
talk about that for a second. How do you, do you get nervous before a show, or is it like, a sport like,
I'll tell you, it's
those
like
butterflies in the
think-
gut?
kind of. It depends. It's weird. It's like the big shows are less anxiety provoking than the shows where like I know my mom is in the crowd, or like
Okay.
my friends, or or I know a girl I know is in the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh God, like
Yeah.
it's someone I know. Like, it's for whatever reason. If you know one person in the crowd,
Yeah.
it's harder to disconnect from it. But if there's thousands of people and like it's just so many people that you can like hardly make out faces because it's just like a bazillion people, like a ton of people.
Sure.
And you have a job to do too. Like you have a task to do with both your hands and singing, and you're thinking, and you have to think about it, and you've rehearsed this for weeks. Like it's important. Like it's your job.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just disconnect from the fact that there's 1,000 people there and lock into like it's time to play the parts.
Yeah.
And then you play the parts but also you have moments between where you're breathing and you're looking around and you say, holy, can I, is it, you don't want me to
Yeah.
swear,
Let it
right?
rip.
I
It's
can
good.
swear.
Yeah.
You look around and you say, holy shit, there's a ton of people here.
Yeah.
This is sick. Like this is like, not everyone gets to do stuff like this.
Right.
So, it's kind of, you have kind of like moments, but you reel it in because it's important to play the parts, and you don't want to disappoint the people, right?
Totally.
Like, you don't want to freak out, and you gotta look the part, maintain the coolness. You don't want to be freaking out. You want to be cool.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what you're doing up
stars are
there.
cool.
You're here to kill.
Yes.
Dude, hell yeah. So The Worst of Us, that's your band, correct?
Yes.
Nice. And is this your full-time thing? Your 100%?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on another thing, but I can't really say much about it right now.
Okay.
But it's involving some really cool people from other bands, and it's gonna be cool. And I think I'm hoping that it's a pretty fucking big deal and gets me all over the place.
Dude, nice.
I'm ready to travel and see the world and
Yeah.
stuff. I've done the US stuff, and I'm ready to I want to go see stuff, man. I want music to take me to other places instead of just. I mean, US is cool. I'm not complaining. It's great, but there's so much I want to see. But yeah, Worst of Us currently is my main gig, other than what I have coming down.
Exciting.
Coming down later, but yeah, that's the main thing I'm doing right now. I'm actually building out the everything we need for touring. So we're going to be on tour soon, hopefully, in the US. I'm just working out the final stuff for that. And I actually have I thought ahead this time, and I said, okay, if I think hard and I work hard on it and I make 2 records instead of 1, then I'll be prepared for like a whole year of music. And instead of putting out like a couple songs a year, I could put out like 10 or 12.
Nice.
And I actually like thought ahead and planned ahead and did it this time. So I'm putting out like a bunch of stuff with them, and it'll be cool. I have like a bunch of stuff to look forward to, and I'm excited. This year is going to be like pretty intense, I think.
Dude, phenomenal. That's just so pursuing the dream, man. Taking steps towards the dream. It's outstanding.
Do you have any influences towards your music or your life?
Influences. That's pretty like you're speaking pretty generally, right?
Yeah, just generally, or even specific to that genre.
Oh man.
Threw a little curveball for you, huh?
Yeah.
All good. You can come back to this. We can come back to this.
Let me ask you.
We can come back to it.
Yeah, I got to ask you this. So, we got hit up. This is a few months ago by a man named Robert Garvin, a drummer for the band, the infamous, legendary band Kurth Ungol. Have you ever heard of Kurth Ungol?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a death metal band.
Yeah, so they
go on though.
Yeah, he just hit us like randomly replied to an email we sent, and he was like, "Guys, just want to tell you, I absolutely love your hair ties and your shampoo, conditioner. I'm in this heavy metal band, Kurth Ungol. We've been doing it since 1970." Just I'm a big guy with the hair, So, and then he sent us some really amazing photos, and then a whole list of it's called the Hard Rock and Metal History Abridged, and it is like from the top down, treeing out every single band that has like been a part of hard rock and metal, and Kurth Ungol is right up there in the top. Just was wondering if you had ever heard of them, or I hadn't until I read this email.
It sounds like an old school like death metal band or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of those that were like very hugely influential that I don't really listen to, but the bands that I do listen to them. Yeah. So it's like, you gotta respect it
for sure. Yeah, they're definitely like the OG guys. Kind of their focus is like almost like fantasy and obvious.
That name is a reference of Lord of the Rings.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. Pretty cool there. That like just I think a lot of people don't understand the total history of heavy metal, or just how it branched off from blues and rock and roll, and like where it fits in the picture, but like where for you, what is the impact you're trying to have, or what is it that you really want to create in this genre?
Well, I don't know. I like a bunch of others, like a bunch of different types of music, and I think anyone that's working in the genre of music that I am would say some sort of esoteric reference of their band being we're just a genre that you don't understand. It's a mix of this and that and this and this and that.
Sure.
And they would all say that, and they're all say I just want to do something totally unique with everyone would say the same kind of thing, I think, but for me, I kind of just want to be like the average person that does this stuff.
Sure.
Be like a normal person, like, because there is so much like diva, like attitudes in the
Sure.
industry.
Okay.
And it just doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And I've seen it be that way, and I have decided as a result that I'm never gonna be that way.
Nice.
And that's if you like, it's more important to me that instead of I want to be the most famous guy ever. No, I want to be the easiest guy to work with.
Yeah. There you go.
And like somebody that is just reasonable, like at all levels. Like if I stay at this coasting medium level for forever or whatever, I'll be the same to all the people I work with, and all the professionally, and as I would be if I was all the way up up here killing it. I'm not gonna treat anybody like differently because of success. I'm not gonna let that change like who I actually am.
The ultimate
not to be all deep, but
ultimate passionate.
No, it's good. Get deep. So
yeah,
we're really big on community. Obviously that's what we try to foster here. What is like the heavy metal community like, and is there long hairs abundant in this scene?
Okay, so yes, there's a lot of dudes with long hair and beards.
Okay.
And, it's very valued, and it's all over the place. So I would say they're all, I would say it's rampant with long hairs. But the community, that's an interesting one, because there's a lot of I would say there's a lot of, it's kind of the relatable, safe humor side of it, which is kind of like what you'd consider like the TikTok metal community is pretty safe and not they get along, and it's all good for the most part. They share music and people are pretty positive and open. But there's like a big group of I think this is, by the way, exists in every genre of music, but it has a kind of it has a sort of, metal has sort of like a reputation for having like elitist culture, sort of saying, man, this metal band had a rapper feature on their song, like, no, they can't do that.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sure are you guys familiar with Machine Gun Kelly?
Yeah.
So he was a rapper, and he started making like pop punk music, kind of like Blink-182.
Right.
Super like Blink-182, like hard to tell the difference kind of thing. But I have seen nothing positive on the internet about him and his music. I've seen almost all negative stuff about it. But he's topping the charts and killing it. So it's kind of like,
people like it, obviously.
Weird. There's something right, and like that's why in the metal elitism tends to come around when bands start being successful, and that typically happens when a heavy band gets less heavy, because they can be on the radio when they're less heavy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's kind of it's like they sold out.
All right.
Like, okay, maybe they just wanted money because they've been poor touring for all hairy dudes with beards and small venues for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They deserve some money, right?
Right. Yeah,
so that I would say that's what that community is like. But I wouldn't say that I would say the vast majority of people just want to listen to the music and have fun.
Right.
Definitely. That's it.
Definitely. Who are some of your favorite bands that we must know about?
You must know about?
Ties it back to the influence here. Inspiration, influence.
Yeah. Influence is one thing. Bands I'm listening to, I really like this one band called Alpha Wolf from they're Australian. I actually they opened for a band that my friends play in, and I met them and talked to them. They all had really thick Australian accents, so it was pretty funny. But they're all really nice guys. But they're really cool. And what else have I been? I'm going through my Spotify list right now.
Right on, man.
My favorite bands are probably this band called Whitechapel, and another one called Shadow of Intent that I've really been getting into for the last couple years. And other than that, I really like this rapper. His name's Jake Hill. And back to your influences question earlier, this guy was a huge influence in the last like 2 or 3 years. I found him recently, and it was just one of those. It's not like he's doing anything incredibly new or anything, but there's just something about what he does that makes me be like, damn, like that's cool. It's like inspiring. It makes me want to like, I'm like, oh, that gives me ideas. He's the artist that gives me ideas. But he's like a rapper, but in a couple of his songs, he just randomly like snap transitions into metal randomly. Okay. And it's sick. And I like, it's like really shocking, and you're like, whoa. Yeah. It's like, it's unique and it's cool. And, but he also does like kind of, he puts out a couple albums a year or so. And one of them will be kind of that MGK pop punk style. And another one will be like metal songs. And another one will just be rap songs. So he's got like such a unique discography. And I was like, damn, that makes me want to do that. Like, why? This guy's like awesome. And that's like what, that's why I would say that's more of like an influence, because it's not about like, oh, who can, for me, it's like for influences, it's not like, how can I copy this? It's like, what does this give me ideas for? It's like, it's like inspiration versus like,
a rip
deriving.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Why pin yourself into just one genre? Exactly. Like, oh, all I have to do is metal. Like, you do whatever the hell you want.
Right. And there is the argument of, you know, it doesn't necessarily sell the more experimental you get. And I do think that the half of the battle of my career with my music personally is figuring out that middle ground of I want to be artistic and I want to, you know, scream my head off, but I also want to sing. And I want the hot chick at the bar to be like, whoa, what was that? Yeah. And not just a bunch of dudes around me being,
long hair, beard man. Dudes.
Come on. Yeah. You want like you want the diverse demographic.
He's keeping it balanced here. This is great.
That's a good point, man. It's awesome. So, dude, the hair's looking great. The career is taking off. The vocal cords are strong. The body and mind is healthy. You're 24. You got the whole world ahead of you. Pretty exciting place to be, man. You got full time in what you want to do. I mean, how do you think that you've got to this? Like, what would be some advice for some of the younger folks out there who are trying to take a path that you are? What worked for you? And
like music specifically.
Yeah. Because you kind of like a lot of people say, "Oh, I want to be a professional musician," but not that many people do it. So, how'd you get there?
Yeah. Well, first of all, it's extremely hard, and depending on the type of music you're doing, it's even harder. And the style of music that I'm doing is very, very hard, and there's a lot of competition. And it's tough to get it on the radio. It's becomes more of a hobby than a career for the vast majority of people. And you need to keep that realistic mindset at all times, that as long as this is not paying your rent, it is your hobby.
Yeah.
And you need to maintain that realistic mindset and just be honest with yourself at all times about it, because especially this is more of an issue when you're younger and less mature, because this would happen to me all the time, getting like kind of like delusions of grandeur when I'm 18 years old and, oh man, there's 10 extra people at that show, man. I think we're gonna blow up soon, man. Like all the time when I was young, I had stuff like, you know, you just set yourself up to be disappointed by yourself. And I think it's really important that you keep that in mind as you're doing whatever you're doing. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try as hard as you possibly can. Like, it's not like supposed to not motivate you. You should be driven to go do those things. But I think you shouldn't expect that you're going to be the next metal star right out the gate. And the other thing that I think is super, super important is just being really good at your instrument, whatever that it is. If you're a guitar player, if you're a drummer or a singer or whatever it is, whatever genre, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you're really good if you're going to go play out. Because there's just nothing worse than a mediocre local band. And no one wants to see a mediocre local band. They want to be pleasantly surprised when a local band has their shit together.
Yeah.
So have your shit together before you play live, and like have your friends listen to what you're doing, and have people you trust listen to what you're doing and give you honest feedback. Because you need that in order to know if you have to have people be honest with you about, should I be presenting this in public? Because that's what you're doing, right? You're presenting your music, your art, or whatever in public. That's what it is in a way. So you have to kind of like be really good if you're going to do it. And when you're older and there's footage of you doing said thing, you'll be really happy that you listen to me and that you're good at your instrument. And people say, wow, you were amazing when you were 12 on stage at that talent show. Not like, oh man, look at this video, me butchering this song on violin or something on my talent show. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing. It's the sort of thing where it's like you and everyone else will be so happy that you practiced.
Yeah. No, it's great, man.
That sounds bad, but it's like that's a huge thing.
Well, I think keep going. Sorry.
Okay, the last piece is just being cool and being easy to be around.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Don't be a dick.
But that it's just easy to hang with you.
Yeah.
And like that you're just easy to chill with, and you're not abrasive. You don't have the abrasive personality, because being in a band and making music is there is a not political but diplomatic sort of aspect of it.
Give and take.
Keeping people happy, but getting along. Like you're in a small space, traveling in a small space and uncomfortable. And it can get like, it can get people butt heads and stuff. And then at the same time, you're also sharing an awesome experience every night when you're playing shows.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to focus on that stuff. And that also comes with, what you're saying of just don't be a dick. But yeah, it's very easy to get frustrated and be a dick in the uncomfortable circumstances.
Dude, speaking to the practice aspect, I think your YouTube channel is a great example of, documenting kind of your process or your progress and your process.
Right.
But those videos of you just like in your room or wherever you are, and it's just the mic and you're laying it down, those are phenomenal. And I'm sure it's just fascinating for you to go back and look at like, wow, look at this from, 9 months ago or 8 months ago, or how much kind of see how far you've come. You've definitely put yourself out there in like that intimate space, your band's not there. You're just you and the mic.
Yeah. I do go back, and I've actually like unlisted a lot of videos that I've put on YouTube and stuff in the past, just because I'm I don't know, and every artist of any kind will say, I hate my old stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's how you got to where you're at.
Some stuff I'm right. That's exactly it. And it's just stuff I'm like no longer. I say I'm no longer proud of it, but I do think what you're saying is something of value too. So I like unlist them so I can see them whenever I want.
Sure.
Because there's some I go back and listen to them. Even like ones a couple of years ago, like not too long ago, I go back and listen and I'm like, oh, jeez, this is bad, man. Like, gee, what was I thinking? So like I unlist that stuff. But I kept up a lot of like the rather, what I considered the iconic ones and the ones that I really liked that I was still into. But Yeah, it was a fun like part of life, kind of doing that stuff and making and being like really crushing at that, because at one point I would post those videos on Instagram and YouTube and they get hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah.
And I was, making those videos in 2 hours.
Right.
And just in my parents' house, in my bedroom of my parents' house. And it was so valuable to me as developing and becoming better, and exactly what you're saying is having the visual evidence of, whoa, I did this a year ago and I sound way better now.
Yeah.
Being able to just see that, and that's why I'm kind of against a lot of bands that I know in my music scene and stuff. A lot of them delete their back catalogs over time. They delete their old songs because they're, I don't know, we're just not into that anymore, and the guitar player quit, and I don't know, we don't like him, so we're kind of just trying to move on from that time in our lives. Yeah. But it's like, dude, it's kind of a piece of your history. It's kind of like it's kind of a evidence of your progress, and people can go back and listen to how shitty your band was and appreciate how much better you are now. Yeah. That's like part of it. Like it's part of it. And
it all got you where you're at again, That's just
right. Exactly. So
did those videos get you any opportunities or any, was that for sure? Yeah. Okay.
For sure. Yeah. They have multiple times. And I've, I could argue that me talking to you right now, if I had not had those, that might have not, initiated that. Sure. There's like stuff like that where it's just given me a leg to stand on when speaking to people at times. But I don't really make them anymore. So I very, very rarely do. So it's not really, and if I do, it's just for fun. I used to, it used to be like a obsessive business thing for me, where I was like, the growth and the algorithm, and I got to do this and that. Right. And I used to be all into it, but then I started, thinking that writing my own music and being known for my own music was a little more important than being like the cover guy on the internet.
Yeah, definitely.
So I try to, not go backwards with it too much, and make a ton of, like the cell phone videos and stuff. Like if I did do it again ever, I would want it to be like really awesome, really professional. Yeah. Just because I've had the professional stuff before, and I don't know if I can ever go back. Right. It looks so good, and my shitty bedroom videos are so shit.
Oh man, what? Yeah, great part of your journey though, and
I would never take it back. Never take it back.
Yeah. No, and you're right. Like, maybe we wouldn't be here right now if you didn't do those. But I also hear you on the side of just being an artist, and if you're gonna do that, you're gonna do it with your own song that you wrote the lyrics to, you wrote the music to, you wrote, 100%. Authenticity, dude, very important.
Yes,
100%.
Got to make them believe it. You got to make them believe what you're saying.
Yep. And that's just by being honest, really, and showing who you are. Yeah. Yeah, you might be able to fake some things here and there, but at the end of the day, you're going to get your ass busted eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Just be you. Well, dude, I'm excited for your future. Sounds like you got some just amazing things lined up. Dude, so where could people find you? How do they follow your band? How do they follow you? How do they keep in touch with what's going on?
Sure. My Instagram... My personal is Wesley Skies on Instagram. Okay. And my band is called The Worst of Us, and you can find us on Instagram at, I think, The Worst of Us Official, and we are available for streaming on whatever platform you listen to.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, or Deezer, or whatever you are listening on. You can find us anywhere there, and videos on YouTube as well. Under the same name, so it's pretty much it there.
Is Spotify big for you guys, or what?
It is. Okay. Yeah, we kind of crush on Spotify for like a smallish metal band.
Nice.
Or unsigned metal band. Yeah, we've been doing pretty well with it. So it's surprising. They have this whole thing where Spotify goes through their company goes through all the songs that get submitted.
Yeah.
And I think it's 25,000 a day or something get submitted. It's like an insane amount of songs.
Yeah.
But they go through each individual song and actually listen to them and curate playlists. And we get like selected every time we put a song out by Spotify, like for their metal playlist.
Dude,
so it's
that's
like
huge.
It's works wonders, yeah, for our numbers on there, and it's awesome. I don't know who, if anyone on Spotify is listening, whoever is trying to help me at the Spotify, thank you, because it is helping. But yeah, they definitely like that helps so much, and they're like kind of open for a lot of people rag on Spotify for the artist stuff, but I will say Spotify has put my music in a lot of people's ears.
Yeah, no,
sure.
That's huge, man. Discoverability, like I think there's such a saturation of music out there. It's hard to even know what to search for sometimes. I open Spotify often and I'm like, all right, I don't even know what I want to listen to. Like I just and I will seek out a playlist that's based on a word of how I feel I want to hear.
Totally.
And then they most of the time nail it.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's like the people that are going to I was just saying the same what you're talking about. Like I was like, I bet you 60% of people walking into the gym right now are going to the Spotify, typing in search and typing in like gym playlist.
Yeah, or like beast mode or like something.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all like radio typical metal songs that like my band could be on, and it's just a bunch of random people that are like, gym, go gym now.
Yeah.
Like just click the button, click the gym mode playlist.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it's crazy how many people will like do exactly what you're saying, because I go on when I go on Spotify, I look up like either I go through how they make the your top songs of each year.
Right. Yeah.
I literally just go back through those. Those are my favorite songs. I just listen to the same like 100 songs.
Yeah.
Every day pretty much. And I have like forever too. And like one like 5 or 6 songs gets pulled in a year, maybe
okay.
like up to 10 maybe.
If they make the cut.
Yeah, into the 100, but then they just get added in and played with the other 100.
Oh,
over
that's
and
awesome.
over again.
Well, dude, we thank you for your time. Thanks for coming on the show here. We're gonna wrap this up. We are ecstatic to see you in San Diego in March of 2024. The Great Cut is going down. We will be along your journey as you continue to progress in your exciting career. We are stoked. Next time, dude, when you are in California, let us know. We would love to have you here in person on the podcast. It's a different dynamic when you're in person. It's I don't know. It's just a little bit better, but this is also cool. So not to discredit anything we're saying and doing here. This is fantastic. And we appreciate you being on. So guys, follow Wesley Horton and freaking rock out.
All right. Thanks guys. Thanks for having me, and thanks for the support over the years. It's been awesome.
You bet, brother. It's been fun to watch you grow, and we're going to keep watching.
Awesome,
All right,
dude.
y'all.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.